Friday Focus, Friday 9th of October 2009. The Chairman of Warwick District Council, Councillor Pratt, will discuss his favourite piece from our collections, Leam near Wills Road by Frederick Whitehead. This will be followed by a talk on Frederick Whitehead's life and career by Senior Curatorial Officer Chloe Johnson.
Before I say a few words about why I chose this painting, I'll say a few words about Leamington and the River Leam. Before the 19th century, Leamington was only a small village called Leamington Priors. It's in the Domesday Book of 1086, it's called Lamingtone. And when the Spa Waters was found in 1784, it grew, and later the Royal was added when Queen Victoria visited in 1838. The River Leam begins in Helidon, which is in Northants, and is 25 to 30 miles long and eventually runs into the River Avon. The name Leam or Leam comes from via Anglo-Saxon from Celtic, leman or lemin, and means having elm trees or as a mighty river. The reason that I chose the painting was, first of all, I was born within a few minutes walk of it, and in my youth we did a lot of fishing and swimming in it. The Wills Road Bridge shown in the painting, I couldn't find the date when it was actually built, and that's when I showed the two contrasting paintings. The future of the river, well, there are several organisations joined together to first of all restore the pump room gardens to the state they were in the 19th century, which means replacing about 11 arches illuminated at night along the pathway. And as far as the river's concerned, we are clearing the banks, replanting reeds and so on, and also doing some clearing out. So within the next year or so, there should be a significant change in how the river and the pump rooms look, and will be great for both visitors and residents as well.
The Leam near Wills Road Bridge by Frederick Whitehead was donated to the collection in 1959. It's not dated, but was probably painted in the 1880s when Frederick was mid-career and living in Leamington Spa. He was the eldest son of Hannah and William Whitehead and grew up in the family home at 5 Wills Road. Frederick's father ran a business as a carver and gilder, picture restorer, dealer and artist colourman, and the house was not just a home but also the business premises and studio. Frederick grew up surrounded by strong artistic influences. Well-established Leamington artists, including Thomas Baker, sold their work through the studio, so would have been regular visitors to the house. He started painting as a child, receiving his first lessons from the Irish artist Richard Rothwell when he visited Leamington Spa. Later he received more formal tuition from John Burgess, one of the town's foremost artists. It's also thought that both Frederick and his sister Elizabeth, who was also to become a well-known artist, attended the Leamington School of Art. Both showed remarkable talent, and when Frederick was just 17 he exhibited his first work with the Royal Birmingham Society of Artists. In early 1880, brother and sister travelled to France, where they both studied at the Académie Julienne in Paris. Frederick studied under the celebrated figure painters Lefebvre and Boulanger, but the teaching style at the academy was informal, with tutors only visiting once a week to look at the students' work, and he doesn't seem to have been influenced very much by either of these artists. Instead, he favoured landscape painting. Classes at the academy were only held in the winter, so during the summer months Frederick and Elizabeth were free to travel and to paint together in the French countryside. Frederick was influenced by the work of contemporary French artists such as Monet, Renoir and Pissarro, for whom working outside in the landscape was central to their technique. Later in his career he related to a friend, "If one wishes to paint nature, one must study her not only under the conditions for which one on any particular occasion seeks, but always and under every fickle change." When he returned to England, Frederick began to paint the Warwickshire landscape. His style is well demonstrated in this painting, one of the largest by him that we have in the collection. The careful observation of the landscape owes much to the work of John Constable, whom Whitehead admired. The brilliant colours, broken brushwork and the broad sweeps of paint also echo the work of contemporary British artists such as Philip Wilson Steer or the artists associated with the Newlyn School. His depiction of nature has even been likened to that of the Pre-Raphaelites, who were similarly determined to work on landscapes in the open air, and used heightened colour to capture the effects of weather and light. Frederick's determination to work outside extended to his etching technique. Between 1885 and 1892, he completed a number of etchings of Warwick and Leamington Spa. Whereas many artists would have produced etchings in the studio from drawings made outside, Whitehead explained, "I take the plate out to the spot of which I wish to make an etching and do most of the work there." Later, after his marriage to the singer and pianist Beatrix Case, he also gained a reputation for his paintings of the Dorset landscape. The couple married in 1893 and tended to spend winters in London, returning to Dorset for the summer months, where they would lead a gypsy life, travelling around the Dorset countryside in a caravan named the Rambler. Frederick would paint near the caravan or use a small portable studio which was referred to as the Baby Elephant. Although Frederick rarely visited Leamington after his marriage, apparently because Beatrice did not get on with his younger sister Louisa, he maintained his connection with the town, and between 1881 and 1916 illustrated 3 books on Warwickshire. Frederick Whitehead died in February 1938, and Leamington Spa Art Gallery Museum holds one of the best collections of his work, with 20 oil paintings along with 10 watercolours and 15 etchings, many of which depict locations in Warwickshire. A number of these works are on display in the gallery, and others can be viewed online. Whitehead's work immortalises landscapes that no longer exist, but also scenes such as this one, which would have remained remarkably unchanged by the intervening years. If Whitehead attempted to set up his easel to paint the scene today, he may have been disturbed by the cars driving up and down Wills Road and past his childhood home, but he may well have been reassured by the view ahead of him. And with projects to care for and maintain our rivers, such as those with which Councillor Pratt is involved, we can hope that that view will remain unchanged for many years to come.